Hi, in today's video I will tell you about 5 things that will help you to learn English, and I will rely on my personal experience and on my personal opinion. So if you're interested, continue watching this video. So the first thing, and I think it is very important, it is a goal. So if you do something, you should always answer, why do I learn this subject? Why do I learn this thing? Why do I need it? Because if you can't answer this question, you stop doing it or you won't do it. For example, I don't know, it's a simple example and maybe a stupid one, but if you don't know why you should drink water, you won't drink water. But everybody knows that we need water just for our health and because we need this thing in our lives. That's why we drink it and because we want it as well, yes. And if you learn English at one moment somebody asks you why do you do it and just you can't answer this question, you will stop doing it, because you should always have a goal. To reach this goal, you will do certain things. And it can be not a great goal like to study abroad or to travel all around the world, or I don't know, to move to another country. Yeah, it's great goals, really great, but sometimes we have the small goals like I want to communicate with my friend from another country in English, or I want to watch films in English because a lot of things are lost when they are translated, or I don't know, I just want to listen to English songs and to understand them. It's also a goal. And when you have this thing, when you have something to reach, you will try to do it. Of course, there are some other factors like motivation or laziness, but the main thing is you should know why you do something. The second thing that will help you to learn English is free resources. To be honest, I think that nowadays we have a lot of free resources, and you can watch different videos for free or find out some sites that are free. And I think that you can learn almost everything for free if you really want it. Just sometimes we don't understand how many things we have, and we should understand it and use these resources that are free. So I will tell you also some platforms that I think they're quite famous, but they are very useful and I will give you them. But firstly, I would like to say about social nets. It is also a great thing to learn English. For example, you can follow different people from other countries, from the USA, from the UK, and from other countries that write their posts in English. And you can read these posts every day, you just see them, and if you find out new words, you translate them, and your vocabulary becomes richer and richer. And also you can follow on Facebook. There are a lot of famous people, there are a lot of just other people from other countries that write posts in English. And what about YouTube? YouTube is a very useful thing, and I've understood that it's just an incredible free resource that we have. There are so many people who explain English, who can teach you pronunciation, who can teach you new vocabulary, who can give you, who can tell you their experience. There are a lot of English bloggers, there are a lot of people who just always speak in English and show their lives. So you can learn new words from the real life that you will need. And there are so many videos on YouTube that To be honest, I think that watching YouTube is one of the greatest things to learn the language, to learn English. And also, you can watch different films in English because there are usually with subtitles, and you can learn new words from there. You can listen to English songs and translate them. You can find books on the internet for free and read them. So we have so many opportunities. We have so many things to do for free, and it's really, really cool. Just we should use this chance. And also now, as I've told, I would like to tell you some platforms, I think it is called like this, that will also help you to learn English. So the first one is BuzzFeed, and I think it's quite popular. It's a very interesting platform because there are a lot of things like news, different quizzes, I don't really remember, different videos with famous people, and also they have a group on Instagram and I think that on Facebook as well. So it's really cool platform, and it is more like an entertainment, but at the same time you learn new words, you learn new things. And the second thing is KhanAcademy. I found it out maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, and I was really surprised because there are a lot of different subjects and there are a lot of videos on these subjects. There is chemistry, math, economics, history, art, physics, and many others. I don't remember all of them, but it's really cool because you can learn the subject that you want in the language that you want for free. And I just really like this platform. I started the course of economics, and the information is explained to you very simply, and it is cool because sometimes you just can understand the language, you can understand the information, and there I've understood everything. The information and the language is quite simple, so it's really cool, and I will highly recommend this platform to you.
On average, we've been catching one rabbit, but gathering 280 berries. We were, I guess, in a berry mood. So this is scenario E right over here. But now all of a sudden we're in the mood for more protein. So let me write down. We are in scenario.
And the last one, but I think the coolest one, is Tedx. I think that it's very, very popular nowadays. So it's such a platform where a lot of videos are located, and you can find videos on every subject there: school, psychology, biology, business, I don't know, culture, traveling, arts, and many, many other different things. And it is very cool. And actually, there are so many videos, and I always find out something new there, some interesting things that are really interesting for me, and there are always interesting speakers there. So I really like this platform, and I think it is very useful. And their videos are always with subtitles, so you can learn new words from these videos. The third thing, focus on 4 aspects. We all know that all languages, and English is not an exception, consist of 4 parts. They're listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And you should not forget about even one of these aspects. It's very important to focus on all of them. So you should train your listening, reading, writing, and speaking at the same time. So it doesn't mean that you should do it in one day. I should train all these aspects, but you should not forget about them. So, okay, let's take for example that you pay attention only to listening. It is cool because your listening skills is very great. But let's imagine you are at the foreign country and someone is speaking with you, and you can understand what they are talking about. You can understand it perfectly, I think, but you won't be able to answer because if you have never had a practice of speaking, it will be very hard for you to make your thoughts clear and to say something that will be clear as well to another person. Also, if we take writing, it will be hard for you to write things because you won't know how to write words, because you are used to listening to these words and you don't know how to spell them. And the same thing is with reading, because you will see the words but you won't know how to read them, so you won't know what they mean. The fourth one, write down and revise. So what it means. Write down. It is very important to write down all new things that you learn. For example, words, for example, phrases, some grammar rules, all new things. And to be honest, I hate this moment when you need to revise all these things that you've written down. For example, I've had a lot of exercise books where I've written down all things that I've learned. There is new vocabulary. There are some expressions, some grammar rules, some interesting structures that I can use in my writing. So I have 3 exercise books. So these ones are full, and this one I've started recently. So okay, let's take for example this moment. You see, here I have proverbs, I've written them down. Here I have idioms, I've written them down. For example, new words like this. It was a TOEFL vocabulary, and also I write down examples with these words. I usually take these examples from Oxford Learner's Dictionary. Because I like it. There are a lot of good examples there. I know that it is better to make your own examples, but it's really tough for me. I never do it. So there are examples, and when I need to revise all this, I understand that it will be very hard because I usually fall asleep when I begin to revise all these things, but yet it is very useful. And the last thing that will help you to learn English is you. Because you know, if you don't have a desire, if you are very lazy, if you don't have enough time all the time, then nobody will make you learn this language. And even if you have a perfect teacher that will explain you everything perfectly, that will give you tasks and try to help you, you won't have a desire to learn this language, then nothing will happen. Because without you, without yourself, without your desire, nothing will matter. And now I will recommend you one book. I've recently read the book, The 5-Second Rule, and it was quite interesting. I hadn't thought about this thing before, but in general, this book about this rule, and you should just count from 5 to 1, and just like 5, 4, 3, 2, and when you say 1, or in your mind you say 1, you should do something, and your brain won't be able to stop you, because even these 5 seconds, you won't make your brain count to 1 and start doing something. You will have so many excuses not to do this thing. And also you can watch the video about the 5-second rule on YouTube or on Tedx.
The other thing that it does, very quickly, is if you have one of those little impulses that are pulling you, if you don't marry it with an action within 5 seconds, you pull the emergency brake and kill the idea. Kill it.
So that's all for this video. I hope it was interesting and inspirational for you. And after this video, you will start learning English, or you will start learning it harder than you did it before. Thank you for watching this video. Bye!